This week I'm inside East London's Rhythm Factory venue to have a sit down with my mate Kastle while he's over here on his European tour. Here we are once again, Rinse TV, and I've got Kastle sat beside me. Thanks very much for taking...
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You got over the jet lag? You relaxed and...
I was very jet lagged last night. Slept about an hour going into this interview.
I know the feeling.
Two coffees, I'm good.
Yeah. Big up the crew on the lattes. So, as I do with most people, just wanted to kick off the interview a little bit, talk about how you got into music growing up. I believe you're from Pittsburgh, growing up in that area, and what your influences were, really.
Yeah, so I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's like not quite East Coast America. Got started in like the rave scene there. So some of my first DJ sets were like in '98. I did all sorts of music, but you know, just general rave music. Then in my early 20s, I moved to Boston, and I spent most of my 20s in Boston, and that's when I started doing more like house and electro and you know, heavy bass music, where I linked up with the Trouble and Bass guys, AC Slater, that whole crew. And then one point I moved back to Pittsburgh, and at the same time that's when I started the Kastle project. I think it was in 2009. That's when I started to go a bit more soulful with my music, kind of was a bit more in tune with philosophy and all these things that I was like taking into my life. So
your sound seems to me, like you mentioned, you touched on there, like more of a soulful vibe. Like for me, your sound kind of, it takes on a lot of almost like a US garage take, but there's definitely like a hip hop kind of influence in there as well. Do you think is that something that you do on purpose, or is that just something that you've kind of...
I don't think I do it on purpose. Very much what I write, I just let it come out. So who knows, like this next album that I'm working on might be completely different. But I've definitely been influenced by garage over the years, and growing up as a young kid, like 5, 6 years old, I grew up on Run DMC, so there's an obvious like hip hop influence like in my early childhood. So yeah, I think it's just what I'm doing now. I piece together a lot of things that I've been influenced over the years and kind of mold it together in my own way.
So you run a label, Symbols.
Yes.
When did you set that up, and what was the idea behind that?
That launched June of 2012. I was on tour with 12 Planet when I kind of conceptualized it, and I think I was just like finding it hard to place my music with a label that really like understood what I was going for. So I was just kind of like, just do it myself, and I had a lot of friends that also had music that didn't really fit anywhere else. So I feel like Symbols became a home for people who didn't fit in anywhere else. So I don't know. It was a further extension of the Kastle sound, which is just deep and soulful. And for me, I didn't focus on one genre. I've always had the feeling as the genre. So if you listen to each release, there's a certain feeling that grabbed me about the music that I put out. So that's how I decide. So you're over here in the UK at the minute. Do you want to talk us through a little bit about why you're here? Basically just on tour. Before I came to London, I started in Utrecht, Amsterdam, and Porto, Portugal, which was insane. They like to go till 8 in the morning. It's a very fun night. So after that, I've had a few days off here now, which has been nice. But I do Notting Hill Arts Club this Thursday. Then I go to Russia for 2 days, Moscow, St. Petersburg. Come back to London. I'm going to be working in Metropolis for the week, working on the album and doing Coco as well. And then I end the tour in Paris. Nice. Yeah, right at the end of the month. In terms of the sort of sound that you find yourself on the bill with in Europe and in the UK, what kind of musical styles do you find yourself put in amongst as a DJ? Mostly house and kind of like you were saying earlier, that like chill trap kind of sound. I over here I'm definitely in good company. So aside from your projects, the album that you're writing at the moment, what can we expect from Symbols in the coming months? Well, we just released a new Minor Step EP. It's an artist from Athens, Greece. Came out yesterday. It's called Weep. Very cool, very like minimal, very soulful electronica. I haven't used that term for a while, electronica. But I don't know, it's, you know, bass music, but it's very cool. Next up we have Vendetta, this new duo from Los Angeles. I'm really excited about them. So you'll like it. It's like 140 BPM, very dance floor.
Nice.
I'll get it to you soon. But yeah, those are the next two things. And then I'm also working on the next Parables compilation, which is, it's kind of become a compilation for a lot of like newer artists. It's very diverse. It's all over the place. So there's house music, there's halftime stuff, there's really chill stuff. It's definitely something for everybody.
Nice. So just to focus in on the forthcoming album, what sort of time frame are we looking at that?
I'm trying not to like stress myself out with a deadline, but I like to have it out in the fall, definitely.
Nice.
But I'm just gonna let it happen as it happens. But it's going pretty well so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think that just about wraps it up. Kastle, thanks very much for giving us your time.
Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Never a chore. And enjoy the rest of your European trip.
I will.
And we're looking forward to the album dropping and everything that Symbols has to offer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big up.
Thank you, Rinse.